You think a billion-dollar company is gonna let some unqualified man fly their plane? Nope. I used to watch his audience would eat it up like he was saying something so profound.
Because of DEI, it begs the question when you see a black pilot, you wonder, you say, I hope they are qualified.
Do you know how dumb you have to be to think a business as big as an airline would hire unqualified pilots? Or a hospital would hire unqualified doctors? If they will have quotas to meet, they can just hire a black janitor to fill the numbers. And you know it's a black thing because listen to Charlie explain of what he meant with his black pilot rhetoric.
All right, let me tell you exactly what I said,
Sure thing,
okay?
thank you.
So this was in response, first and foremost, to United Airlines saying that half of all their new pilots that they're going to hire are going to be women or people of color. Currently, they're 15%.
Okay.
So they want to go from 15% to 50%. A conversation then ensued about how every time affirmative action is employed, standards have to be lowered. There's not a single instance where that does not occur. So then I said, boy, if I see a black pilot, I'm now going to wonder, is that individual qualified, or were they selected because of their race? Comma, but that's not who I am, but this makes me think this way. And I stand completely by that statement.
Okay.
Secondly, let me just finish.
Sure thing. Yeah, sorry.
DEI and affirmative action, what it does is it lowers the merit, it lowers the threshold of standards, and increases things that do not matter, such as skin color and ethnic background. So
First, he's manipulating the situation. United Airlines said they wanted to give people the opportunity to enter their pilot training academy, but the students still have to pass the test and meet all requirements. Even when he talked about black women being not qualified.
Michelle Obama and Sheila Jackson Lee and Ketanji Brown Jackson were affirmative action picks, we would have been called the racist. But now they're coming out and they're saying it for us. They're coming out and they're saying, I'm only here because of affirmative action. Yeah, we know. You do not have the brain processing power to otherwise be taken really seriously. You had to go steal a white person's slot to go be taken.
But does that sound like a Christian man? Those words, that attitude? First, many of the DEI positions were filled with white women. Second, the person doing the hiring was usually white, which is why I always laugh when they try to bring up this reverse racism. Most of the time, the bosses was white. This is why many black people felt he was a racist. Most of the time when he was talking about affirmative action and DEI, he brought up black people, even though black men benefited the least from these programs. Why not talk about white female pilots or white men from other countries or other minorities? Just ask Elon Musk. Do you know how many set-aside business loans they gave him because he's a minority, because he came from another country? They don't never talk about this. They only talk about it when it's black people. Those groups have benefited from these programs more than black people. I would tell anybody on the right, go drive through the black communities and you'll see who own all the businesses, the nail shops, the tire shops, the hair salons. It ain't black people. Okay? And these gang bankers, they knew what they were doing. The gang bankers knew exactly what they was doing. They wanted to destroy black communities. This is about destroying black communities. And yes, there are many black people who helped them do it, gang bangers and drug dealers. But at its core, all this comes from their head.